In today's video, we're going to go over transitioning from our aim into shot execution. A lot of you struggle with having really good float with your aiming portion of the shot, and then when you go to actually start executing with your release, that really good aim you have starts to fall apart. Today, we'll talk about a couple reasons that may be happening for you, give you some helpful tips on what to adjust, how to take your equipment that you're already using, make it work better for you, and hopefully help that aim stay consistent all the way through the process. There are two reasons that I see a lot of people struggle with their aim and their float patterns breaking down and getting worse when they start executing their shot. The first one is how we're setting up our release to be able to use it and not being afraid and timid of it and being able to trust our equipment. And what I mean by that is if you have a thumb button and on that thumb button trigger, if it is too light and it's too much of a hair trigger, you will actually get really timid on it. You'll be afraid to put your thumb on that trigger, wrap it around it, get your hand engaged into that release. And that's going to actually start causing you to creep forward on the bow a little bit, lose some tension that you built up in that system to create good aim. And it's going to cause you to have looser float and a lot of problems executing that shot. It can cause you to hang up. It's going to cause you to not have tension into that trigger to actually increase it, depending on how you're wanting to do that. And the same can actually be said when you're using a hinge release. A lot of people have their hinge release set up either too fast and they're afraid to be able to get into it and rotate it, relax their hand a little bit in anchor, or you're using a fast click to where that shelf length after the click is really short and you're afraid to allow much rotation to happen after the click. Either one of those scenarios is going to cause you to lose some tension on our back half especially, but that's going to start having our shot break down and have some problems. So what we want to make sure that we're doing is setting up that thumb trigger heavy to begin with, just extra heavy, to where you know that you can wrap that thumb around it, get your thumb engaged on that trigger to where there's pre-tension built into it, so that if you're just pulling through the shot, or if you're doing some kind of hand manipulation, you're already in that trigger to allow that tension to increase on it however you're doing. You're also not going to feel like that you have to relax on your pull. You can stay strong in that shot, that really good aim and that float pattern that we have at anchor. We can keep that there and oftentimes increase the steadiness that we're seeing by being able to apply a little bit of extra tension there in the hand, steady up our back end. Same with the hinge release. With that hinge release, we need it set slow enough to where we are able to rotate that release and relax our hand without fear of it firing. And we need to have a length from click to fire that is long enough to allow you to not get timid and be afraid of motion. You're going to start hanging up on your index more often. It's going to cause you a lot of problems if you're afraid of having rotation in that release. And a lot of people are probably going to be more benefit more rather from having a standard click versus a fast click, because it's going to allow you that extra motion without being excessive. And it's going to let you be able to work through your shot without it making you afraid or timid that it's going to happen too soon, where you then start feeling like you are protecting your aim. Real quick break in the action here. Over the next few weeks, you're going to see me taking a break and talking a little bit about equipment on my bow and some channel sponsors that we have. These are going to be companies that I was using prior to them sponsoring the channel. Something I believed in already. It was products that I was already using. I'm going to go through why I was using them and picking them and give back to them as believing in us and our community here with Archery Vision, and then let you be able to see them in case you want to support those companies that help support us. In this week's video, I'm going to talk really fast about Live Bearded. This is a non-endemic sponsor that brought into the channel. I use it and have for a couple years now. I got into using their products because they're all natural, and they had a $10 sample pack of all of their products. So beard wash, conditioner, oils, balm, and all of that for $10 and some little small samples. That allowed me to pick what scent that I like, make sure that I liked the product and wanted to use it. And then when I bought the product, $10 sample, the money rather from that $10 sample pack comes off the first order. So that was a huge one for me too. It's essentially making that sample pack free. I've actually got a link down below that you can use. Using that link and that discount code will help you if you buy that sample pack. Or what I would recommend is after you try that sample pack and want to spend money on an actual order, so where you're buying some more product, use it on that order. You're going to get the $10 off, plus be able to use that code, and it just helps you save some extra money. So keep that in mind. If you have a beard yourself, whether you need it to be soft when you lay down on the pillow, or maybe there's somebody special in your life that you want it to be soft for as well, for whatever reason that may be. Now, the other thing that I see a lot is people having too much movement, whether that is just too much available movement to where you start pushing out with the bow arm, pulling with the release arm, and just having a large amount of movement available to you, or it's too much movement in that you're moving too quickly and too fast and disrupting the body. Either one of those is going to cause problems. We don't want to have a ton of extra movement. If you do, that is a sign that either the draw length is too short and there's too much movement from your elbow out that you have available. Our loop length may be too short and there's too much available motion in our back end. You can especially see this on your follow through. If you have a huge explosive follow through where your arm is really extending out from the elbow and you've got a lot of extra motion and movement for this release arm to come back over the rear shoulder, that is going to tell you that there was just too much available movement prior to the shot breaking. And the reason we don't want to have that is because it allows too much room for error. We can move too much, we have too much range of motion, and it's just going to allow us extra potential there for us to be moving into breaking down our float, moving ourselves off target, or something like that. Now, flip side with that is just moving too quickly. And this can be whether you have a perfect draw length and loop length or not, and you just start executing by pushing, pulling, just pulling, rotating the release, squeezing the trigger, whatever you're doing, that motion happening very fast. So when we are rushing the shot, our body does not have time to be able to see our float pattern. If our subconscious can't pick up on that natural pattern that is happening, your body is not allowing itself time to be able to adjust and get you in the middle on its own versus you trying to force yourself to hit the middle. This is going to cause target panic if it's not already there, but it's also just going to cause you to have a bunch of errant shots where they're just missing everywhere. A lot of people, when they're doing things correctly, they will have a common miss for them. Maybe it's a left miss, maybe it's low, low right, high left. Something is common for you based off of just a natural flaw that we have in our shot. But if you are missing just everywhere all the time, you're usually either rushing things or you just have too much available motion available in that length and that setup for you. So that is a couple of things that you can check out and look for whenever you're executing the shot. If you're enjoying this content and you want to keep watching more, down in the description of this video, there is a link for the members section of this channel. In the members portion, we have extra videos each week that come out. They could be on topic and an expansion of what we talked about, or just its own video. These are a little bit more laid back. It's almost, from what I've had feedback on, it's very similar to people just kind of hanging out at the archery shop together or out at the range and just talking. Try to have it in one cut. Not a lot of editing, and it's just extra info for us to go through, and it's deep diving on information that I do not give on the main channel. So if you want to check that out, down in the description, there's 2 different packages and 2 different price points with different benefits on each one that you can have. Thank you all again for watching this video. I'll see you soon.